We're back with One Punch Man chapter 198 as we continue the ninja arc. Flashy Flash and Sonic teaming up versus all of the other ninjas from the Ninja Village. And it's pretty epic, but it's pretty darn short. But the good news is we also got 2 brand new webcomic chapters. I'm going to add one of them in this video because it's translated already. The other one literally just came out as I'm making this video, so I'll try and cover that tomorrow or the day after once we get translations. We're almost at the Mad Cyborg. I believe he's coming in the next chapter of the webcomic, and that's going to be like a huge reveal in this series and be incredibly fun to talk about. As far as why these chapters are so short, there's a lot of speculation that perhaps Murata's health isn't that good, but I believe that he's also working on some anime, and he's taking on like lots of various projects as well as potentially some commissions as well. I think he just has his hands full right now. We're getting close to the holidays. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I really do have a good feeling that One Punch Man's about to pop the hell off in a few chapters. We might just have to wait till the new year and give Senpai some rest. So we're going to jump in and review this chapter as our 2 ninja buddies, Flashy Flash and Sonic, who were rivals, now team up to take on all the other ninjas, and it's actually really cool and funny, and the dichotomy between the two is great. We're going to jump right in right after this message from our sponsor. If you get tons of spam calls and emails, it's because your information is being sold over the internet. But luckily, I got a solution for you. Incogni. You have the right to ask these data collection companies to remove your information, but it requires a legal process that nobody has the time, energy, or money for. Our partner Incogni does that for you. They'll protect your privacy by contacting all of these data brokers and requesting that your information be deleted from the internet. I've been using Incogni for a year now, and it has dramatically reduced the amount of spam calls and messages that I get. The first 100 people to use my code MASTARmedia with the link in the description will get 60% off of Incogni. Protect yourself today by signing up for Incogni and getting your personal information removed from the internet. Starting with the cover page, we got Tatsumaki, we got a little Santa Claus Saitama in the back there with Watchdog Man and Rover. Absolutely love that. You know Murata, he always goes all out on these covers. He loves especially to do the holiday theme. I think this year we got a Halloween Tatsumaki. Now we're getting a Miss Santa Claus Tatsumaki. Kind of interesting that Saitama is the Santa. Is that a little hidden meaning that Saitama might end up with Tatsumaki potentially? We'll have to find out in the future. So as we saw at the end of the last chapter, Flashy Flash and Sonic have decided to team up and take on all these ninjas who are challenging them. And they don't really know these ninjas well. They're either new ninjas or classes way after them. And Sonic is saying that even though the Ninja Village was destroyed by, I guess, the battle between Blast and the Founding Ninja, these guys are still just lapdogs who are doing whatever the Founding Ninja says. It appears this guy with the cross eyes is the leader, and he's going to tell Hellfire Flame and Gale Wind that they're going to go up first and create the distraction. They're both like a little beat up and sweaty at this point because they already started trying fighting. Again, I'm not really 100% sure how they're alive. Like Flashy Flash sliced them in half unless they use their ninja jutsu where they turn into a log, but it also doesn't appear that they're monsters anymore either. So as we're going to see in this chapter, Flashy Flash is like, this is a good opportunity for us to, I guess, capture Hellfire and Gale Wind, maybe get some answers out of them. Like, we saw that Blast and the Hero Association are basically trying to figure out the secret to reverting monsters back into people. So we'll get back to that in a little bit, because first they're going to take off and start fighting, but Flashy Flash and Sonic are very confident. They know that these ninjas are not going to be able to work well together, and we do get to see the synergy between Flashy Flash and Sonic here. Now, Sonic thinks that all the ninjas are going to attack Flashy Flash first because he's the weakest, and we get this hilarious panel. I mean, look at Sonic's eyes here, that everybody goes after Sonic first, and you would think, yes, Sonic is probably slightly weaker than Flash Flash, I would assume, but they're also kind of trying to show us that they're basically equal, but all the other ninjas see Sonic as the weaker one, which is kind of hilarious. So they all go after Sonic, and he's blocking all their attacks, but he's sweating, and he's taking some damage. It doesn't really look like it here, but in a panel in the future here, he has like a bloody nose and stuff. It's funny. This is like the comical aspect. His ego is getting shattered here quite a bit, and we see the Hellfire and Gale start to use this cool like ninja rope. It's called Joro Spider Curtain, and these are like poisonous ninja strings that if they touch you and cut you, you'll be poisoned and die. So Hellfire and Gale went against the Heavenly Ninja. They went after Flash instead of Sonic because they know that if they went in first, they'd be just getting thrown into the meat grinder. They go and do their own thing, trying to trap Flash in this sphere of ninja strings. But obviously, Flashy Flash is too much of a beast, gets out with ease. And he's actually able to redirect these strings somehow, unless they're strings of his own. And he's able to wrap up Hellfire and Gale. So they're pretty much done. I guess they're captured at this point. And now Flashy Flash is going to go in and rescue Sonic, who is fighting like 1 vs. 8 at this point. Really cool panel here. We get some really nice panels actually of this ninja battle, especially with Flashy Flash and Sonic side by side, back to back. You'll see in just a second. Here's Sonic with his bloody nose. Hilarious panel. He's pissed off that Flashy Flash came to his rescue, and he's like, I don't need your help, but they're still fighting back to back and supporting each other primarily in this battle against all these other ninjas. Really cool panel here. I mean, just the way Murata does these action scenes with swordsmen. I mean, look at this one. Look at the speed. Sonic rolling over Flashy Flash's back as he kind of barrels forward at the same time. And, you know, again, this is just Murata flexing. You can feel the animation in a single still frame. That's one of the things, at least, that makes him such a godly artist. And as the ninja says, it's crazy that these guys are having an argument while fighting in perfect harmony. They're moving as if they've been training to work together for a very long time. And they've been friends since they were little, but they don't really train together. But it is interesting how they're kind of becoming one, and I wonder what that means for the future of these two characters. So we get to the final page of the chapter. I know, incredibly short chapter, only 12 pages. It's one of the shortest chapters I've ever seen out of One Punch Man, to be honest. Hellfire and Gale are captured. Flashy Flash says, let's take them back to the Hero Association and investigate to figure out if we can find out any information about how to revert people and find out. And I guess, you know, the end goal really is to get more intel on God. So that's the end of the chapter for now. Let's jump over to the webcomic chapter. And here we have Drive Knight talking about these high-end units. We remember from the previous chapters, basically there's this huge Terminator war going on right now where Bofoy has released more and more waves of more and more powerful robots and monsters alike to flood all of the cities. And we have heroes and neo-heroes alike. This is Axel running through and destroying them. And it seems like pretty easy, but the robots continually get stronger and stronger. I feel like the heroes are going to eventually run out of energy or come across a monster that's just way too strong eventually. There's going to be a bunch of action panels here. This has been like the last couple webcomic chapters, basically just heroes versus an army of Terminators. I think this will actually be really, really fun when it gets animated, and it'll probably be really cool when Murata draws it as well, but it also has dragged on quite a bit. I mean, we're supposed to see where the Mad Cyborg is here, and I believe at the very end of the next chapter, which just came out, it's not even translated yet, it looks like Genos has just arrived at the Mad Cyborg facility. We also get Webigaza here, who's a new female in the series, who is some sort of like fairy that can control the weather, and she has all sorts of crazy abilities. She seems like one of the more OP characters in the Neo Heroes and just the series in general. Here we have Raiden wearing his super suit, and he doesn't even need to hit people anymore. He can just throw his fist out and they just explode from the pressurized wind, I guess. You got to remember how strong these super suits are. Even Moomin Rider wearing one was able to one-shot a dragon level monster, which is just absolutely crazy. And then we get a whole lot of Blue, who is Blast's son, a character that I am incredibly interested in, and he's getting some broadcast into his ear saying he's fighting too hard and he needs to save his energy for the greatest enemy. If you take a look at this panel here, you can see his eyes. Is he a robot or is he a cyborg? You can see his eyes are like Genos. There's like all sorts of readings and stuff on it now. Maybe he's not even human. Maybe he's just a creation of Blast, like some sort of pseudo-human artificial being, and that's why he says I'm his son. We also get more of Suryu. If you remember, Suryu fought Saitama in One Punch Man Season 2. Really cool epic fight. Well, now he has joined the Neo Heroes and he's been given a super suit, and now he's actually an officer of the Neo Heroes, and he's a total beast. I mean, he's gotta be upper echelon S-rank hero, and he's saying that even though it's easy to annihilate all these guys, something's fishy and something is off. And then we go over to his sister, which we actually saw drawn in the One Punch Man manga fairly recently, another female for you guys to get excited about, and her name is Suiko, and it turns out that she's pretty darn strong as well. And probably the most interesting and fun tidbit, Garou returns. He is a construction worker. He was like a UPS guy, and now he's a construction worker. It appears that the robots tried to attack the construction site, and he still got it. He completely took out all these robots like they were nothing. Great to have Garou back, and that's good news for Garou fans, because that does mean, in my opinion, he could be reintegrated into the series as a good guy. So pretty pumped about that. But then he gets attacked by a unique machine god Sauza. They don't say what disaster level he is, but Garou just one-shots him again. Garou is still incredibly powerful here, trying to redeem himself after wreaking havoc among the world, beating up a bunch of S-rank heroes. And the final page basically is a group of Neo heroes called the Bubbly Boys are going to go after a My Mask, and they know he's a monster now, so now it's their imperative to destroy him. And I wonder what kind of repercussions this is going to have. We saw how a My Mask has gone full-blown monster, and then Saitama saved him. I guess the finale of a My Mask's little character arc is going to come to fruition pretty soon, but please just give us the Mad Cyborg. Look at this shot of Genos. That's in the next chapter. Once I get a translation, I'll make a video on it. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button. It helps me out a great deal with the algorithm, and I'll see you soon for some more One Punch Man.